Dalai Lama, a peaceful life. Imagine a small house, typical of a remote area in Tibet. It's made of stone and mud, with a flat roof. What's unique about it is the way they've made gutters, from juniper branches, carved out to channel the rain. In front, a tall flagpole stands proudly, with a banner covered in prayers fluttering in the wind. Inside, there are just 6 rooms: a kitchen where the family spends most of their time, a prayer room, the parents' room, a room for guests, a storeroom, and even a space for the cattle. This is where Lama Thondup was born on July 6, 1935. His village, Taksar, means roaring tiger, and it sits on a hill overlooking a beautiful valley in northeastern Tibet. Life here isn't always easy. The weather can be unpredictable, making farming a bit of a gamble. But the family, like the other 20 or so in the village, works hard to make a living from the land. Most of what they grow is for themselves, but sometimes Lamo's father trades surplus grain and sheep for things they need, like tea, sugar, and cloth. In these far-off areas, they don't use money much, they barter. And every now and then, his father comes home with a new horse, something he truly loves. He has a special talent with horses and is known in the area for being able to heal them. Lamo's early years are filled with the simple joys of childhood, playing with his siblings, helping his mother, and exploring the world around him. One of the main foods they eat is tsampa, made from barley flour. It's a staple food in Tibet, but it takes some getting used to. Tibet is a vast and varied land. To the northwest, there's the Chongtang, a huge, frozen desert. Then there are the provinces of Yu and Sang, bordered by the majestic Himalayas. And to the east, Kham is the most fertile and populated region. But Lamo's life is about to change in a way he could never have imagined. In Tibet, people believe in reincarnation, the idea that when a special religious teacher, like the Dalai Lama, passes away, he is reborn in a new body. So, when the 13th Dalai Lama dies, monks begin a search for his reincarnation. They look for specific signs and clues. Their search leads them to Taksar. Kitsang Rinpoche, the head of the search party, disguises himself as a servant and observes young Lamo. To everyone's surprise, the child recognizes the monk. Later, the monks present Lamo with objects that belong to the previous Dalai Lama, and he chooses the correct ones. It's an extraordinary moment, confirming that this young boy is indeed the 14th Dalai Lama. At the age of 4, Lama Thondup becomes the 14th Dalai Lama. He leaves his family and village to travel to Lhasa, the capital of Tibet. His life transforms completely. He moves into the Padala Palace, a magnificent building with 1,000 rooms. Imagine this. Wherever he goes, he's accompanied by servants, government ministers in beautiful silk robes, and wise religious teachers. When he leaves the Padala, there's a grand procession with music, banners, and hundreds of people. People bow their heads and show him great respect. The young Dalai Lama begins his education, learning to read and write Tibetan. He memorizes Buddhist texts, which he finds a bit boring at times. But he's also a curious and playful child. He loves exploring the palace and its many storerooms, filled with fascinating objects. He even discovers a film projector and learns how to use it. Then something terrible happened. In 1950, when he was only 15, the Chinese army invaded Tibet. China's influence in Tibet grows, causing tension and unrest. He witnesses the growing discontent among his people. Prices for food suddenly rise, and the people are outraged. They express their anger towards the Chinese soldiers in various ways. Amidst this turmoil, the Dalai Lama continues his religious studies. He meets important figures like Chairman Mao Zedong and travels to China. He observes the way the Chinese government works and meets with other leaders. The Dalai Lama is a curious and intelligent young man. He enjoys learning and is eager to understand how things work. He even takes a drive in a car, which ends in a small accident. But despite his intelligence and efforts, the political situation in Tibet continues to worsen. In 1959, after years of fear and tension, a violent uprising broke out. The Dalai Lama has to decide: stay and risk death, or escape and protect his people's future. He chooses exile. Disguised as a soldier, he escapes Tibet in the middle of the night. It's a dangerous journey through the mountains, filled with uncertainty. He faces illness and exhaustion, but his determination to reach safety keeps him going. After 14 days, he arrives in India, tired, sad, and far from home, but alive. The escape from Tibet is just the beginning of a long and challenging journey. The Dalai Lama and his people face immense difficulties as they try to rebuild their lives in exile. India becomes their new home, offering refuge and support. Imagine arriving in a new country with nothing but the clothes on your back. That's what it was like for many Tibetan refugees. They have to adapt to a new climate, new customs, and a completely different way of life. The Dalai Lama works tirelessly to help them, establishing schools, monasteries, and communities. He worked tirelessly and still does. One of the biggest challenges is preserving Tibetan culture. The Chinese government had been actively suppressing Tibetan traditions and religion within Tibet. In exile, the Dalai Lama and other leaders focus on keeping their heritage alive for future generations. They create institutions to teach the Tibetan language, art, and philosophy. The relationship between the Dalai Lama and the Chinese government remains complex and strained. While the Dalai Lama consistently advocates for peaceful dialogue and autonomy for Tibet, the Chinese government maintains its stance that Tibet is an integral part of China. Over the years, there were periods of increased tension and brief moments of potential reconciliation. The Dalai Lama sent delegations to Tibet to assess the situation, but these missions often revealed the extent of the damage done to Tibetan culture and the ongoing human rights abuses. Despite the political challenges, the Dalai Lama has become a global symbol of peace and compassion. His message of nonviolence, understanding, and universal responsibility resonates with people around the world. In 1989, his efforts were recognized with the Nobel Peace Prize. This prestigious award highlights his commitment to finding peaceful solutions to conflict and his advocacy for human rights. It also brings greater international attention to the plight of the Tibetan people. The Dalai Lama's influence extends beyond political activism. He engages in dialogues with scientists, religious leaders, and thinkers from various fields. He explores the connections between spirituality and science, emphasizing the importance of inner peace and ethical values in the modern world. His teachings on compassion, mindfulness, and the interconnectedness of all beings inspire countless individuals to live more meaningful lives. He becomes a respected voice on global issues, speaking out against violence, poverty, and environmental destruction. Even in his later years, the Dalai Lama continues to travel and teach, spreading his message of hope and kindness. He adapts his message to reach new audiences, using modern technology and social media to connect with people, especially the youth, across the globe. The story of the Dalai Lama is not just a historical account. It's a powerful reminder that even in the face of immense adversity, One person's courage and compassion can make a profound difference. His life teaches us the importance of resilience, empathy, and the unwavering pursuit of peace. So, let's reflect on his journey. What does it mean to stand up for what you believe in, even when it's difficult? How can we cultivate compassion in our own lives and contribute to a more peaceful world? The Dalai Lama's legacy invites us to ask these important questions and to strive to be our best selves.